The confrontation between Goku and Saitama has long been a topic of endless debate among superhero and anime fans around the world. On one side is a Saiyan warrior with the power of the gods who constantly pushes his limits to reach new heights. On the other side is a normal human who has broken the limits of his strength through an inhuman training regimen, becoming an entity that can destroy any opponent with just one punch. When an unstoppable force collides with an unshakable object, the question is, who will win? Saitama is the embodiment of a character who was complete from the start. Through 3 years of rigorous training, including 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and running 10 kilometers every day without stopping, he has surpassed his inherent biological limits. As a result, he no longer has a worthy opponent, defeating any creature with just a single blow. However, the boredom that comes from absolute power urges him to find a worthy challenge. One day, Boros, the Lord of the Universe from faraway space, appears. He possesses the power to destroy the planet and desires a real opponent. The battle between Boros and Saitama breaks out, marking one of the most important moments in the journey of One Punch Man. When Boros unleashes his ultimate collapsing star roaring cannon that is strong enough to wipe out the surface of the planet, Saitama responds with serious punch. That punch not only destroys Boros's ultimate technique, but also tears apart the Earth's atmosphere, demonstrating the unimaginable power of a man who was once immortal. After Boros, the next enemy Saitama faces is Garu, a human who was once consumed by darkness and aspired to become a perfect monster. With a speed exceeding 200 times that of light, Garu approached the entity known as God, and was granted a portion of his power. The battle between Garu and Saitama took place on a cosmic scale. Saitama used his strongest punch in a serious state, causing space to tear apart, and the two opponents were sent flying to one of Jupiter's moons. This collision was called Serious Punch Squared, creating energy that could destroy multiple galaxies at once. Not stopping there, Saitama demonstrated the ability to control his power to the point of shaking the moon with just a snap of his fingers. He used moves like Serious Table Flip to peel off the entire surface of the moon and reveal a graph showing his power increasing exponentially with no end in sight. When Garu attempts to copy that power, he is quickly surpassed by Saitama's limitless, continuous increase. In a hilarious yet horrifying moment, Saitama blows up Jupiter with a single sneeze. The climax of the fight comes when Saitama is sent flying into the sun. At superluminal speeds, he returns to Earth in a flash and continues to fight Garu. Garu eventually teaches him the karma reversal technique, which allows him to travel through time without the aid of divine entities. Saitama himself admits that this is a technique he could not have come up with on his own. He travels back in time, ending the battle without even striking a blow, proving that not only is there power, but also cognitive evolution beyond all limits. Goku, the Saiyan warrior from Earth, is a symbol of the desire to overcome all barriers to reach the ultimate power. As a young warrior, Goku surpassed Frieza, who was able to destroy the planet Namek with an explosion visible from beyond the galaxy. Even in official records, Frieza's second form was said to be able to destroy the entire universe. Goku later surpassed Perfect Cell, Majin Buu, and many other entities with infinite energy. In his base form, Goku is powerful enough to cross the dimensions of Hell, which is considered to be infinite in size. After awakening to the Super Saiyan God state through the ritual of transferring energy from 5 pure warriors, he enters a battle with the god of destruction Beerus. The collision between the two entities creates waves of energy that can destroy the entire Universe 7, which has 7 separate time-space lines. Goku then continues to evolve by combining the power of God with the Super Saiyan, creating the Super Saiyan Blue form, then superimposing the Kaioken technique 20 times. In the Tournament of Power, he confronts Jiren, a warrior who surpasses even the god of destruction. Jiren is able to repel Goku's primordial sphere with just a glance, and forces Goku into the Ultra Instinct state. In this state, just by existing, Goku is strong enough to cause the Void Realm, the space without time and space, to shake. Goku reaches the level of Ultra Instinct perfection, defeating Jiren with a divine aura that makes all the gods stand in awe. In this form, he not only surpasses all divine entities, but also possesses speed and power that can control nothingness. So when comparing the two entities, who is the strongest? Saitama has unlimited power, but is depicted with limited jumps in the diagram, meaning that he does not truly have unlimited power, but rather a constantly increasing power. His time travel ability is also not due to pure power, but is due to techniques taught to him by Garo. Meanwhile, Goku constantly surpasses both physical limits and the concept of reality, reaching a level that can change the very structure of space-time of the universe's dimensions.
Saitama's power can reach the level of destroying planets, even multiple galaxies, but Goku's power goes beyond the galactic scale, reaching the level of the multiverse complex and reaching speeds that far exceed all measurable limits. Even though Saitama is an unstoppable force, he is no longer invincible against Goku, an entity that has surpassed the immutability of gods. The battle between them will be a collision of two worlds, but the outcome is probably already clear. Saitama has never encountered an opponent like Goku. Therefore, the ultimate winner in the confrontation between infinite power and ultra instinct is the Saiyan who carries the light of hope of the universe, Son Goku. However, if we delve deeper into the structure of the origin and nature of each person's power, we can realize a key point. Saitama is the product of a world where logic is distorted to highlight satire and attack the traditional superhero model. Goku, meanwhile, is the culmination of a never-ending journey, an epic that spans decades. Saitama represents the end of an ending from the beginning of the story. Goku, on the other hand, is a symbol of evolution, a journey that never stops. So, if you put them in the same frame of reference, a world where the laws of physics and theology are in place, where power is measured not by symbolism but by actual intensity, Goku is still superior in every way. His fighting skills, his intelligence in battle, his ability to adapt to different forms of energy, and his transcendent state, all of these make Goku the more complete warrior. Saitama's most serious punch, no matter how powerful, has a limit to its range and effectiveness. Meanwhile, Goku's punch when he reaches the ultimate Ultra Instinct not only shatters matter, but also pierces the very notions of space and time. He can sense and act before events happen, not by intuition but by the absolute union of body, mind, and cosmic energy. When Goku and Saitama face off, it is not just power that is being compared, but also the ideals, beliefs, and existence of each entity that are put on the scale. Saitama carries within him the indifference of someone who is too strong, no longer interested in life. Meanwhile, Goku fights for joy, for challenge, and for love for the world he protects. That's what makes their battle not just a physical contest, but a clash of two philosophies of life. One side is the immutability and perfection from the beginning. The other side is the journey of maturity, evolution, and never stopping. In the world of anime, where emotions and ideals can shape strength, Goku always has another reason to win. That's the reason why he never gives up, even against an absolutely destructive punch like Saitama's. Therefore, if one day these two entities really meet, the universe will shake. But when the smoke clears, only one warrior remains standing, his eyes looking into the distance, ready for the next challenge. And that person is Son Goku. In the midst of the deep darkness that covered the endless universe, the faint light of the distant stars reflected on the faces of two entities. One was a symbol of awakening, the other was the incarnation of lost desire. The battle that seemed to be just a show of strength had long ended, but in fact it was only the beginning of a profound transformation in their souls. On the rock floating in space, Goku stood silently. He did not need to speak. His presence said it all. The aura that emanated from each step, each breath, was not fierce, not arrogant. Only the serenity of a soul that understood the laws of the universe. Power is not to prove, but to guide. From those eyes there was no longer the gaze of a conqueror, but of a guide, ready to hold the hand of anyone who had lost their way. Saitama, standing opposite, felt something he had never known before. The pressure of a heart that did not want to fight to win, but to fight to awaken. For years, he had lived in the absolute solitude of a person without an opponent. Each punch thrown was a time when the world became more blurred. But the last contact with Goku, although it did not end in injury, made him tremble. Not because of pain, but because he finally understood. Power without meaning is a pit that swallows the soul. Goku took a step forward, his hand still extended. Not hasty, not pressing, an unspoken invitation. And in that moment, amid the millions of glowing nebulae behind him, Saitama slightly bowed his head. For the first time, he nodded not to admit defeat, but to admit that perhaps he was ready to learn how to fight again. Not just with his fists, but with his heart.